Well, good morning, everybody. It is the 19th of October, 2024, and it's 5:17 a.m. on a Saturday morning, and I believe it's about 62 degrees. No, it's 57 degrees outside. Here in beautiful Pahrump, Nevada, just a few more weeks before we arrive in Quartzsite. And we have the comments. I mean, you might have noted a little hesitation there, a little weirdness. So I could either fly by it or tell you what that was about. It's about some series of disturbing comments. Not like your usual nastiness or criticisms or any of the usual stuff. There was someone that was writing comments that were exceedingly long and rambling, and I didn't even read them all. There was one that must have been 6 or 7 paragraphs long, rambling, and it was disturbing. It was very disturbing. There was something very off with it, and so I blocked that person's ability to continue to comment on the channel. Just it shook me up a little bit. I mean, I wasn't feeling there weren't any threats or anything, but it was just kind of a creepy thing. I'm glad to be back with you guys, back reading regular reviews. So this is kind of something I wasn't expecting. But there were probably 4 or 5 like that. Then I just couldn't believe it. As I was starting to scroll, it just went on and on and on and on a variety of subjects. I don't know if it was copy and pasted from somewhere or this person was actually that prolific. It was shook me up a little bit. All right. First one is from Lisa on cat versus pilot, where the pilot and cat got to know each other on a flight out of the hurricane area to rescue pets, and the cat adopted the pilot, or the pilot adopted the cat. It's not really clear which one, but she says, "Oh, that is so sweet." So we had a pretty popular video drop yesterday. I kind of knew it would be, but I thought it would be a nice one to do for people on quartzsite. Let's see how many views we've had. We probably had a couple more overnight. So we're at let's see, 1,357 views, which is, that's amazing for me. And it is quartzsite for beginners, just for people that have never done it and are nervous about it. Some really basic stuff, and mostly validating feeling nervous and talking about how nervous I was when I first went, and the idea that I'm not here to tell you not to be nervous. I'm here to tell you you can survive the nervousness and it'll go away. So David Smith is the first comment on that video. Thanks. We're looking forward to visiting quartzsite this year. Your video was very helpful for understanding some of the basics. Many of the other YouTubers skip over much of this information. And that was the idea. I wanted to give you stuff that was a little unique. My Nomadic Dream says, another very informative video. This will definitely help new people get their bearings and able to understand everything that the Q has to offer. The DG market has really reasonable prices. I did a video on it. Oh, great. That's the new market in town. Stacy Jones says, thank you, Rob. Can't wait to get to quartzsite. It'll be my first time. On the road with Tenzin. On the road with Tenzin. I'm seriously considering quartzsite this year. This video really helps. Would be cool if several first-timers could join up. Yeah, that would be cool. You could do that on here, on the comments. Good video, thank you. I keep telling myself There are many thousands of RVers in quartzsite, and at one time, every single one of them was a newbie. They did it. I can do it too. And I said to M. Campbell, yes, you can, 100%. You can. You can, and before you know it, you're not going to be a newbie anymore, and you'll be giving other people advice. Let's see. The Wandering Pinto. The Wandering Pinto, thanks for the info. We're going to go for the first time in January. I've been watching lots of YouTube videos, and I feel I have a good understanding of the place. We have a week planned in January, then on to other destinations, but may spend a little more time there in February and March. Voodoo 1970 came face to face. Oh, this is on day trip to Mora, New Mexico, and surprise guests. Came face to face with a Nortina waitress and lived to talk about her. Allsups, bro. You missed out on Allsups chimichanga. I didn't know they had chimichangas at the Allsups. I did miss out. Damn. On the quartzsite video from Van Joplin. Great video. Thank you. And the positive news video today, I really like this one. It's titled, Utah 11-year-old moves a city. It means she had two little sisters that weren't big enough to play in the park near her house. So she took a crayon and she designed a park that would be appropriate for little, smaller children. And she presented it to the city. They built it. They didn't just kind of build it. They built it to her specifications. They had meetings with her to update her on design, materials, and colors. Pretty good story. Ken Gray says, teaching kids to get involved, fantastic. Sounds to me like this kid was the one teaching people to get involved. Didn't sound like it was their parents' idea. Nathan living our journey. Hey, Nathan. Another great vlog, Rob. It would be very helpful for those visiting for the first time. Looking forward to getting back to the queue for more fun and adventure. Ken Gray says, good information should help alleviate some of the anxiety of first-timers. On the road with Tenzin. Oh, we already had a... Should have remembered from a minute ago. Thank you. Your video is the best so far for first time on quartzsite. I'm more convinced to make the journey. Well, good. Troy Taylor, 1913. The first time I went to quartzsite, it really sucked. I went to paint a house nearby in Siloam. I wanted to go shopping for food, so I went to a Dollar General. It took an hour to check out because there were so many people. I've never seen so many people in a Dollar General. Every store is like that the whole time the big tent goes up. Maybe if I didn't go there to work, it might have been great. Be prepared for long lines if you've never been there before. Well, here's my experience. Long lines, I don't think I've ever waited in either the markets or Dollar General for more than about 20 minutes. And you know, there are days around the big tent, say from around the 10th of January through the close of the big tent, which is close to the end of January, where you're going to wait in line. So, but there are times during the day where you're not going to wait in line. You'd go during peak time, you're going to wait in line. And I personally love it because when I wait in line, I meet people. Not all the time. Not everyone's friendly, but almost everyone in quartzsite. They're on vacation. You already have stuff in common. You're visiting quartzsite. And trust me, the locals aren't standing in line at dollar store. I mean, maybe if they're like occasionally, but they know the drill. They know the hours to go there to not stand in line. But so your fellow travelers, you already have a bunch of stuff in common. It's a great way to meet people. So don't stand in line frowning. Stand in line with a smile, look around, give people eye tag, go, hey, how you doing? Start a conversation. It's I pull up to a full parking lot at Dollar General, and I can have the attitude, oh no, it's going to be horrible. Or, all right, there's going to be a line and I'm going to meet new people. And I hand out cards for my channel. I get subscribers. It's not a hardship, it's an opportunity. Let's see. On the comments video, Ken Gray says, you know, George loves you because he doesn't complain when you talk. We got Dottie today. George is down where Dottie was yesterday. George is sleeping. I think they're both sleeping. Dottie's awake. Leon Rosales, Generation X is 1965 to 1980. It's after boomers 46 to 64. Yes, I had to look it up. Well, thank you. I wasn't sure when I did the comment video. Then on the quartzsite video, Robert Burns says, I look forward to travel from Denver, Colorado to quartzsite by end of January and stay 1 month. All right. Just me, K, PC on quartzsite. I went last year for the first time, but only stayed about a week, then came back a few weeks later for another week. I really like the town, and I'm planning on coming back this year and try to hang around for a month or maybe more. I really enjoy your videos as they're very informative. Thank you. Let's see. We've got Menu Expressions 9128. Awesome vid. Thinking about going this year for the first time. My van conversion doesn't have a toilet. Can you please explain what the restrictions are regarding no black water tank? Thanks, Mike. And I responded to him. I said, La Posa South, you must camp within 500 feet of a vault toilet. There are 10 of them. Here's the official rule. And it's pretty long. So if you want to read that. Oh, what the heck. I'll read it. In Pilot Knob, Midland, Tamarask, and Hot Springs LTVAs, you may camp only in self-contained camping units. So those are not in quartzsite. So you don't need to worry about those. La Posa, Imperial Dam, and Mule Mountain LTVAs are restricted to self-contained camping units except within 500 feet of a vault or restroom. So that implies that if there's, it doesn't imply, it says La Posa are the ones in quartzsite. There's La Posa Northwest, Tyson Wash, and La Posa South. So if you're in one that doesn't have, someone was saying, I think it was La Posa West, does not have any vault toilets. So I guess if you're not self-contained, you can't camp there. That's what this rule means, I think. If I'm wrong, somebody jump in and show us the truth, if this isn't the truth. Self-contained camping units must have a permanent and a fixed wastewater holding tank of 10-gallon minimum capacity. BML does not consider porta potty systems that utilize portable holding tanks or permanent holding tanks of less than 10-gallon capacity to be self-contained. So that's the rule. And he responds to me saying, thanks for very informative info. Love your channel. Listen every day. Well, that's great. Thank you. And we have Computer Blue. Great video, Rob. Thanks for sharing. I just love how honest and sincere you are, especially at the end when you're thanking us for watching. It's because I really do appreciate you. 10 more months and I'll be coming that way. Oh, 10 months from now, huh? Wow. So that would be probably what, January of next year? December next year. Good. PMF 822. Probably next year, but I've been trying to go for many years. Something always comes up. I probably won't care for it, but it's an experience. Would duck out when people start flooding in. There's an alternative to that. You can be staying there, and when the people come in, you can be in a fairly remote part of the desert if you want, in either BLM, 14-day BLM, or the LTVA, and you can just decide, hey, I'm going to stock up, and I'm not going into town during the big tent, and just stay out there, and you can stay fairly secluded. Philip Williams says, "Hey, Phil, I've been watching you for a bit. I'm newly minted road warrior without an RV camper. I'm planning on going down to Quartzsite at the beginning of November. I have my SUV and my dog is pretty much it. I plan on buying a tent at the local Walmart before I head down, so I have somewhere to sit, hang out besides the car. My plan is, as soon as possible, to buy a small inverter generator from Harbor Freight so I can charge my phone and laptop equipment without going into McDonald's and sitting for an hour or two. I have no refrigeration, so for meals I'll cook, buy the food the day I use it. I'm nervous about the whole deal, but I'm doing it to see how I like it. I always have the option to reverse course and go home. I'm also considering buying the year pass for the New Mexico before the rates go up in January, so if I do like it, I can continue on in New Mexico. Just starting out and figuring out this is the best precautionary way to approach this. Maybe I'll get to meet you down there. Yeah, that'd be great. I'm hesitating giving a lot of advice here. The advice I'll give is you're talking about doing a number of things here. There are lots of YouTube videos out there on things like tent camping in the desert and things like that. Power needs. There are lots of alternatives. There are alternatives for refrigeration. There's just a ton of information out there. So continue to watch YouTube and look for people that make it obvious to you that they know what they're talking about. Randy G. Hey, Randy. Said, I remember when Hobotech did that. I thought it was pretty cool of him. I certainly needed the video because I'm really doing my best to make it out there this year. I can't wait to meet you, Randy. Let's see. Tommy, thank you for all the great info, my friend. Can't wait to get out there, but I'm still caring for my mom now. I love learning all about quartzsite because I'll make it one of these days. Another one from Tommy. That's a great story. She'll remember her whole life. That's the 11-year-old that designed the park. And he comments on a walk with Dottie from the other day. Journey and I walk 5 to 8 miles a day. Holy mackerel. That's a lot. Which usually takes us a few hours. I listen to music, talk to other regular walkers out there, and listen to podcasts like yours. This makes it hard to leave a comment with 107-pound dog tugging you to keep you going. We walk at a wildlife sanctuary about 10 minutes from where I live, and there are miles and miles of paths and a bunch of small ponds. Dottie seems a much easier dog to walk for sure. Wow, that's a lot of walking, Tommy. Randy says, great comments. Gotta love George. That's on the comments video. Let's see. The Road Home says, great video. I'm not a quartzsite wannabe, probably not, but I like learning about it. Who knows? I just sold my 33-foot 2 slide out, all mods, cons, Class A, and Jeep now. Purchased a Yukon XL to try car camping and possibly future towing a trailer. I'm watching all to learn. Thank you. Yeah, 33-footer. That's a big one to be pulling around. Tracy Mescal says, thanks for the info. You're great at explaining what's going on. We appreciate your input. Thank you, Tracy. Appreciate it. Randy says, on the full-time RV healthcare, my choices. If you're ever in a pinch with heartburn or reflux, baking soda dissolved in water, half a teaspoon to 4 ounces of water. Some people swear by apple cider vinegar. I haven't tried it, so I can't say. These H2 blockers seem to be full of problems and serious side effects. Be careful. Okay. So I have learned a lot about heartburn. You know, I underestimated the complexity of treating heartburn. I don't mean like you have heartburn after a meal every once in a while, when you have like daily problems with heartburn. And there's lots of over-the-counter medications. There are lots of things like using over-the-counter medications, like the simple stuff like Pepto-Bismol, Tums. Then what she refers to are H2 blockers like Pepsid AC, And there's proton pump, PPIs, proton pump inhibitors are the other brand name ones. So you have lots of alternatives to relieve the heartburn on your own. I found out that's a really, really bad idea. Go to your doctor. I don't mean go to your doctor to get a prescription. I mean go to your doctor and talk about, and you know, if you could get to a GI specialist, that's even better. Either a doctor or a nurse practitioner that has a specialization in gastrointestinal. Because let me tell you a couple of things that I found out. I have moderate hypertension, high blood pressure, and I'm on a drug that's called a diuretic. And that's kind of the first line drug that they give for high blood pressure. And what a diuretic does is it keeps fluid going through your system. So it keeps the amount of fluid in your system lower, and less fluid, like in your pipes, means lower blood pressure. And it works really well for me. My top number is around 118. My bottom number is in the 70s. It's really good blood pressure. Well, one of the first things that this is going to pay off. You guys, most of you guys are my age, and this can be a problem as we get older. The heartburn, and so the first thing I did was I was taking the proton pump inhibitors, and that seemed to be working fairly well. And then I started reading up on it. It's some scary stuff that they say if you're using a PPI for more than a couple of weeks, you can do some damage. It's like it says do not use this for more than 2 weeks. And so that kind of scared me a little bit. So I went to someone, I was taking advice of friends and said, oh, just use Tums. Tums are better. So I was popping Tums, you know, the colored ones that they kind of taste good. It's like eating candy. I was popping them all day long. And anytime at night where, you know, I would feel it a little bit and having trouble sleeping, I had a bottle of Tums near my bed. I popped the Tums. Well, I have my appointments with my chiropractor every week. I get checked out, vital signs, and my blood pressure inexplicably went from what I just told you to like 150 over 110. I mean, there was a day she said, you were this close to me recommending that you can't get your treatment today and you should go to the ER. She thought I was close to being a hypertensive crisis. And the nurse practitioner is asking me all these questions about what's different, what's going on, and we're trying to figure it out. And we figured out it was the Tums. Yeah, it was the Tums. And let me tell you, it was the Tums because I stopped taking Tums and my blood pressure went back down to normal. Who would have thought Tums would be a problem? Baking soda. Doesn't baking soda seem really harmless? You know, baking soda. Little 1/2 teaspoon and some water. Drink that. Well, guess what? Baking soda interferes with the absorption of some medications, including diuretics. So if you're on a diuretic, do not be taking baking soda. Who would have known that? I didn't know that. So I end up under my doctor's supervision. I am taking, it's still over the counter, but it's the H2 that Randy's referring to. It's Pepsid. And it's working. It's working perfectly. And she said, H2 blockers seem to be full of problems and serious side effects. That's true. That's true. But if you do research and you compare PPI, what's safer, PPIs or H2s? H2s by far. So anyway, that's what I learned about over the past few weeks that I think are important. And thanks, Randy, for triggering this discussion. I think it's important for people to hear. So I responded to her, says, my doctor advised me not to use baking soda or PPI medications. Baking soda with the diuretic I can take can cause hypokalemia. Hey, that's terrible. Terrible English. Let's go in and edit that in case somebody reads that and thinks I'm uneducated. I take baking soda with the diuretic I take. With the diuretic I take can cause... What's wrong with that sentence? Can cause hypokalemia. I guess it's okay. It just sounded weird. Can cause hypokalemia. H2 is the safest medication for me. GERD treatment is very tricky stuff. Tums actually cause hypertension when I tried that on my own. Yeah, so anyway, and Randy just says, hey, I didn't know. I was thinking more of you were suffering, had nothing and needed relief, not meant as advice. I got that. It's just triggered this episode I had of learning pretty complex stuff about acid reflux, GERD, whatever you want to call it, heartburn. So back to the quartzsite video. Terry3193 says, a great video. I'm planning to come out this January for the first time, and I'm very excited but very nervous. I've watched all your videos as well as hundreds of other videos, but still a little nervous and stressed. I think it'll be fine. Thank you for your videos and helping us newbies. And I will repeat my message from the video is it's okay to be nervous. And the worst advice you can give a friend that's nervous is don't be nervous. It's not helpful. It's not good. The advice that I give if you're nervous about coming to quartzsite is I went to quartzsite for the first time and I was nervous and I got over it pretty quickly. The nervous ones went away. I survived being nervous. And you know what? Being nervous is a tool. Being nervous is our body saying we're in unfamiliar territory. Be vigilant. Be careful. You don't know what you're doing. Increase the acuity of your senses. That's what nervousness is. It's a stimulation of the fight or flight response. And it is aiding you in being a little bit more careful in a new environment. Don't shun it. Embrace it. Because it goes away. It goes away once you take the unfamiliar and make it familiar by experience. Someone posted on my St. James Hotel video from a year ago saying sadly the St. James was forced to close September 2024. And I responded, said, yeah, I know, I did a video on it. So hopefully they'll find that video and watch the closing video. On quartzsite, Jen and Kurt. Hey, Jen and Kurt. Thank you for all the info about quartzsite. I really want to spend a winter there as soon as I can. Your picture map of the BLM locations was helpful. My concern is where to get freshest or even organic options as far as fresh produce. I'm used to so many options in Minneapolis. I don't want to change the way I eat just because I live in the desert. Well, you can go to the Whole Foods in quartzsite. I'm kidding. There's no Whole Foods in quartzsite. There's no Whole Foods. The closest Whole Foods is going to be in Phoenix. You can drive. It's an hour and a half, I think, hour and 40 minutes or something to get to Phoenix. You can stock up there on all the organics you want. Maybe Yuma. Yuma probably has. Yeah, Yuma has plenty of organic stuff, and that's about an hour and 10 minutes away in Yuma. So that's where you have to go to get organic. Just plain fruits and vegetables. Both the markets. And now I guess DG Market, the new market. So there's 3 markets there that have fruits and vegetables. So that's in quartzsite. There's the Walmart up in Parker that's 55 minutes away. Um, I guess some Walmarts have some organic stuff, but if you're really serious organic stuff, I drive the extra time and go down to Yuma. And I forget the name. If anybody think of the name of it's kind of a regional grocery chain down there that is specialized in organic and fresh foods. If anyone post that, if you know what that is. For quartzsite, Martin B 1628, it's on my bucket list. Maybe this winter. Well, good. Randy again. How heartwarming. What a thoughtful, caring little girl. Kudos to those that made it happen for her. That was the girl with the park. And then we have quartzsite again. Chip Miller will be there in November. Me too, Chip. I'll be there in November. Nana Butner. Thank you for the lovely St. James Hotel video. This is from my some comments and coffee video 910 a month ago. Someone's watching a comment video from way back then. Wow. I know part of the problem is that the hotel is so far from where people live, and getting help to keep the hotel open as well as getting people to go there to stay has a lot to do with why it isn't profitable and keep it open. I hope someone will purchase it and keep it open. We lose so much history every day. If I were a multimillionaire, I'd buy it and just maybe turn it into a museum or just keep it open the way it is. Go for Corvette. Thanks for the video. Is there a place to buy water with a hose hookup to fill water containers? This is a new one I haven't responded to, and 2 people have responded to them for me. There are dispensers in town. Check out some of last year's videos. If you have an RV, you can get to the LTVA in La Posa South. You will wait in line for it. Yeah, there's some like RV Pit Stop is a place where people go a lot to fill their tanks, but there's several places in town. There are kiosks. Go for Corvette says, yeah, thanks, my van is a do-it-yourself 7-gallon containers that I fill in the van, so I need a hose hookup. Check it when I get there. Okay, go for a Corvette. If you're listening, I got your solution. On Main Street, go down where the fast food places are. You will see a Burger King that's next to a mobile station. Turn in there. There's a kiosk with a hose. Pull your van up to that. It says 5 gallons for 4 quarters. Put in your 4 quarters, and you will get at least 6 gallons for your 4 quarters. That's a secret. Don't tell anybody. That's where I get my water. Every year, that's where I get my water. And every year, that's how it works, and I hope it works. I hope they haven't changed it this year. Q881, great video, Rob. Saltware says, great video, thank you. What route do you take when you drive across the country in January? I don't drive across the country in January. I don't drive across the country at all anymore. I stay here. I'm in Pahrump, so I will go through Vegas and make my way down south, just a 1-day trip. And let me do a reload, see if that's really the last one. And it is really the last one. And wow, 33 minutes, a big one today. I hope you enjoyed it. And Dottie hopes you enjoyed it. Dottie, are you going to wake up? Dottie. There. This usually does it. She picked her head up. Only half picked her head up. You're tired. It's 6 in the morning. It's 5:51. Sorry, Dottie. If you have sat here for 34 minutes and watched all this, I don't know what to say. Thank you doesn't seem like enough. But I love doing these videos. I love the feeling that I'm talking to you and getting to know you by reading your videos and commenting on them. And what a great idea this was. Charlie, you know who you are. Thanks for the idea. Love doing it. Take care.